What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You guys join us with our 2020 Porsche Panamera 4. If you guys missed the unveil and collection video of this car, I'll go ahead and link it in the top right hand corner. But I figured I'd take the opportunity to show you guys this car in a bit more detail. We've owned it for a couple months now. Give you guys a full tour and a test drive and everything like that. I apologize for it being a little bit dirty. We're kind of getting right into spring here in the pollen, and we've had a lot of rain recently. Have kind of made this thing really dirty. So like I said in the intro, guys, this is a 2020 Porsche Panamera 4. This is a certified pre-owned car. We did buy this with a warranty. So Porsche does offer a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty with their CPO cars. And honestly, with this car, it might be worth it. There's a lot of expensive parts on here, and I do think that it will be worth it in the long run. We've only had this thing for a couple months now, but it hasn't given us any issues. But as soon as the big repair bill comes up, the first one, it'll probably be well worth that investment. It does have a couple cool options on it, even for the base kind of Panamera. So it does have the updated LED headlights. You can see kind of the 4 dots right there in the housing right there. If we look down a little bit, you can see the cutouts for some cooling in the bottom there, and the LED daytime running lights. You can see the Porsche badge right on the hood, front and center. And as we move along the side, this car does also have the Porsche Panamera turbo optioned wheels. So you can see they're kind of the split 5-spoke design that look very, very cool. You can see the brakes on this car are absolutely massive. I believe they're 6-piston. They could even be 8. I do need to double check that, but the brakes on this car are probably one of the best dynamic kind of features of it. They're absolutely amazing. As we move along the side profile of the Panamera, I think they did a really, really nice job with the 2nd generation Panamera. Obviously with the 1st generation Panamera, there was a lot of criticism with its looks, and I think that for the 2nd generation here, Porsche did a really nice job of kind of ironing out the weird kind of edges and everything, especially in this kind of rear section right here. They really made it nice and streamlined and didn't give it as much of a kind of a bulbous look. But I did want to show you guys right up at the front here. You can see there is some functional cooling vents right here in the fender that are very nice, probably extracts some heat from the brakes. One of the really cool design touches that I like on this car, you can see the mirrors right here have this bit of a little bit of a cutout right there, and that's probably to help channel the air along the side profile and the rear of the car. Probably doesn't affect the you know, the downforce or anything like that, but it is a very, very nice design touch. And as we get along to the rear, you can see Porsche spelled out on the rear deck lid. Panamera 4, you can also get the model, you know, trim deleted if you wish. I do like it spelled out. I think it's a very nice touch. And you can see the Porsche logo itself actually has a 3-dimensional texture to it. For the exhaust, you can see there's just these 2 cutouts right here. For the Panamera, you'd have some quad tips, but for the base model, you can see you just have 2 larger cutouts. Let's go ahead and pop the hood of the Panamera. Obviously, the hood latch is right here. We can move around to the front. So this is the 3-liter single turbo V6. This is actually the same engine I had in my old Audi S5, if you are familiar with some of the cars that I've had on the channel as well. It has 330 horsepower in this application. It is connected to the 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, not the 8-speed ZF automatic that was in my S5. So the transmission snappiness is definitely improved in this car. One other quick note that I'd like to make is that the Porsche presentation of this motor is much prettier, in my opinion, than the Audi presentation. Everything is nice and covered up. You can see some aluminum strut tower bracing there. You can see kind of cutouts for the intakes, cutouts for the coolant and washer bottles, but everything else is very, very nice and covered up, very clean under there. So let's go ahead and close the hood here. And I did want to show you guys, I guess, the quote-unquote correct procedure. You just have to lower it onto the latch right there and then press down on the Porsche crest, and I believe that is the proper way to close the hood without slamming it. So let's go ahead and take a step inside the Panamera. One of the things I did want to show you guys is that these doors don't have any catches in them. They're basically held by a big magnet. So as you can see, I can move the door to kind of any position that I like and it'll hold it. So it's very, very nice for getting in and out of smaller parking spaces. As you can see, you do have to kind of hold it in its place and then it'll settle, but that's a very, very nice convenience feature there. You can see this one's optioned with the extended stitching or extended leather package. I do need to double check to see which one it has, but you can see it has some nice stitching on the armrest and the top of the door panel. You have an aluminum door handle. I'm not sure if it's actually aluminum, but it does feel very, very nice. You can see this one's also optioned with the Bose sound system. It has the aluminum kick plates with Panamera 4 spelled out. And this one's also optioned with the multi-way adjustable seats. I believe they're the 14-way seats. You can see ton of customization here, and also obviously 2-person memory on the door panel. So let's go ahead and start the Panamera up. I'll go ahead and show you guys the key here. It is kind of the same Porsche key they've been using for a little while. It's in the shape of a car, which is pretty nice. You have lock, unlock, and the trunk button, and this would be for the front trunk if you have one in like a Taycan or something. But with all Porsches, ignition's on the left, so you can just turn the key into the accessory mode here. And we'll also just put the car in Sport Plus, at least the chassis. I don't believe this car has any sport exhaust or anything, but you can put your foot on the brake and twist the key on the left like I showed you to start. Go ahead and give it a couple revs here. There is a rev limiter around 3,000 RPM in park. So let's go ahead and check out the interior of the Panamera. Obviously, front and center is this beautiful Porsche 3-spoke steering wheel. You have aluminum paddle shifters on the back of the wheel, which feel really, really nice. You have a couple multifunction control buttons here. On the right side here, this wheel will control various things like the navigation. You can bring up vehicle status and stuff like that, so you can cycle through the menu there. And this little wheel on the left will control this display as well. You can check the mileage, check the trip, and everything like that. This is the volume button, obviously mute, and to answer or decline a phone call. For the gauge cluster, I did already show you guys, you do have the traditional Porsche 5-gauge layout, the 2 on the right and the 2 on the left. They are digital screens like I already showed you guys. You have the analog tachometer right there with the speedometer and the gear position indicator. And as we move along to the rest of the dashboard, you can see the clock at the top right. This does not have the Sport Chrono package or anything, so it's just a traditional analog clock. And as we move down, you can see, I believe this is the 12-inch display. I'll put the correct size in the description or at the bottom left here, but you can see this is the 12-inch display. I do believe Porsche has updated some of the icons here in more recent cars, so they are in a bit more detail, a bit easier to understand, but overall, this is a very, very nice system. You have a bunch of tiles right here that you can kind of customize on this home screen here, or if you go to various vehicle functions, you can see for the drive mode and the chassis. I did talk about the spoiler earlier, so you can just press this button here, and it'll give you a little bit of an animation when the spoiler does its thing. And as we go to the rear, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Spoiler is up. The car looks very, very nice. So moving down the center console here, this is one of the main complaints that I have with this car. It is the piano black here. Hopefully you guys will be able to tell, but it is a dust and fingerprint magnet. This car, or at least this panel, is impossible to keep clean, especially on a sunny day like today. It just shows every last fingerprint and every piece of dust. So you do have to kind of wipe this down very, very often. You do have a kind of a shortcut row of buttons right here, as you probably already saw. This is for the climate control. These dials right here, as you can see, the vent opens up. Turn that off. This car is also optioned with the heated and cooled seats. As you can see, I accidentally pressed the wrong button there. It's a little bit difficult to actually press the button you want on this car. It does give you a little bit of a haptic feedback, so you can kind of hear when you press the right one, but you do have to kind of be looking down to select the right one. So I do wish there was an actual button, and I know in the older Panamera it was kind of a row of buttons, but yeah, not the best layout in my opinion. And this, you know, with the plastic and everything, is not my favorite. But this is the gear selector for the 8-speed automatic. You can just kind of press this little button at the back, pull it down into drive, push it up into reverse, obviously, and press the P for park, and the electronic parking brake as well. You do have a nice Panamera badge here with a little bit of storage underneath as well. As we take a look at the headliner here, this is the control for the moonroof. As you can see, this car is optioned with the dual moonroof, so it does give a nice kind of airy look to the cabin. When those are open, you can close the shades and everything like that with these 2 dials. These are for the garage door opener and the frameless rear view mirror, which is very, very nice as well. So before we hit the road in this car, I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick look at the back seat. Same materials and everything as the front, so you can see the stitching on the armrest and everything like that. I'm taking a quick step inside just to show you guys. It's a little bit difficult to get in and out of this car, especially with the sloping roofline. But as you can see, it is very nice back here. You do have some climate vents right here, some storage that you can kind of open up, and some cup holders like that. This is actually to control the rear shade right here. It's a little tough to see, but that will control the rear shade independent of the front shade. So with the tour out of the way, let's go ahead and start the car up again and hit the road. All right, guys, welcome to the inside of the 2020 Panamera 4 here as we take it for a quick test drive. And immediately off the bat, this car feels absolutely amazing. There's really nothing like kind of sitting in a Porsche. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but immediately you have an amazing point of view around you. Kind of a swooping effect at the hood that gives a really, really nice line of sight. The dashboard and everything sits low, so you have a great visibility out the front. And the car itself just feels so solid. You know, there's no squeaks, rattles, anything like that. And as I showed you guys in the interior tour, there's just so much kind of customization, everything you can do with the interior. I really, really like this car, obviously. And I think that it's an amazing product. I know the first generation Panamera got a lot of flack for its looks and everything like that, but no one was really arguing with the dynamics of the car and how it performed. And I think that with this car, now that they kind of ironed out the looks and made it look very, very nice, and plus with the upgraded performance with the second generation, it's really a no-brainer if you're looking for kind of a 4-seat, you know, rocket ship, if you will. If you're not looking for that ultimate luxury that maybe a Rolls-Royce or a Bentley offers and you want something a bit more dynamic, I think that this car has a lot to offer. Kick it over into sport, you can see the gauge cluster shows you that you're in sport, where you automatically kick down a couple gears in the transmission, and then the suspension obviously stiffened up. You can feel that the ride has gotten a lot, you know, bumpier and everything like that. I wouldn't call it crashy or anything like that. We're on some pretty, you know, smooth roads and stuff like that, but you can definitely feel that this, you know, this mode is meant for taking on a track, a back road, something like that, and this thing would just feel so planted, in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and kick the transmission over into manual mode. As you can see, the transmission is super fast. This is the 8-speed automatic transmission, 8-speed dual clutch PDK automatic transmission, excuse me, that's shared with this car, the Bentley Continental, and a couple other Porsche cars, and it is an amazing transmission. They really have ironed out these dual clutch transmissions over time. It's not as lurchy, it's not as jerky as we go through the downshifts here. They're really seamless, and as we go through this corner, the car is so flat, especially in sport mode like I showed you guys a second ago. It's just an amazing experience being behind the wheel of this thing. It's an amazing car to drive, amazing car to own. You feel special just being in it. You know, I've already said that before, but yeah, it's just an amazing car. There's really nothing like a Porsche. It does have its flaws, like I said. The interior, the piano black and stuff like that, you know, is not the easiest to keep clean. And you know, there's a couple other like little things, obviously, with the maintenance cost and all these other ownership things that, you know, you have to kind of have when you have a Porsche as such a, you know, a product with high quality. But if you can get one with a warranty like this one has, and, you know, have that peace of mind, you feel really so special in this car. So, well guys, I hope you enjoyed the full tour and test drive of our new 2020 Porsche Panamera 4. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for plenty of cool content coming very soon on this car, the C63, and many others. And I'll catch you in the next one.